Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to address you today at Abu Dhabi Sustainable Week, platform that prides itself on its inclusivity and action-oriented solutions to the world's climate and energy challenges. The ties between Africa and the United Arab Emirates are long-standing and deep. Africa is a continent with some of the fastest-growing economies on the planet. Our regions have much to offer each other as we look hand in hand to boost prosperity for our people and foster opportunities for the future generations. Despite the challenges our world has faced in recent years, from COVID-19 pandemic to economic diversification and climate change, we are determined to find joint solutions that require a higher level of solidarity and collaboration than ever before. Since the founding of the United Arab Emirates nearly 50 years ago, our country has pursued warm political ties and economic cooperations with African nations based on mutual respect and common interest. The late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, founder of the United Arab Emirates, championed the UAE's engagement with sub-Saharan Africa, that today, under the wise leadership of His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, have led to the country's strategy for forging sustainable partnerships based on proactive economic relations and robust political engagement centered on common interests by securing economic opportunities, promoting peace and security, and creating impactful and sustainable relations. We continue to honor the late Sheikh Zayed legacy. Our vision for the next 50 years is to focus on fostering mutual beneficial international economic partnerships while making the UAE the global capital of investment and economic creativity, an integrated incubator for entrepreneurship and emerging projects, and an advanced laboratory for new economic opportunities. Now, our close proximity to Africa enables us to become active strategic partners, and this partnership will elevate our cultural and economic capabilities as a whole. The nexus between Arab and African issues underscores that growth, prosperity, and achieving our shared goals must remain a priority. In its capacity as an active and engaged member of the international community, the UAE will continue to work with sub-Saharan African states to strengthen investment in key sectors, empower women and youth across the continent, and bolster political ties to further facilitate cooperation on issues with significant impact on the ground. United by economic, cultural, political, and people-to-people ties, our two regions are deeply linked, with enormous potential for further cooperation in the years to come. One of the key to unlocking that potential, supercharging Africa's economies, and allowing millions of people to contribute to building a prosperous continent is electricity, specifically renewable energy. As a proud host of COP28 next year, the UAE is committed to partnering with sub-Saharan African nations to achieve sustainable development and promote the welfare of the larger region by advancing together in the field of renewable energy. Today, I am proud to unveil Etihad 7, a UAE-led initiative program for funding renewable energy projects in Africa that aims to supply clean energy to 100 million people by 2035. As sub-Saharan Africa countries go green, this initiative comes at an ideal moment to accelerate their energy objectives. With Etihad 7, the UAE consolidates its UN Sustainable Development Goal 7, efforts for Africa under a single initiative. In line with the UAE's foreign policy and development goals, the program facilitates sustainable development by solving key challenges that hinder clean and affordable energy in emerging markets. Etihad 7 initiative will help sub-Saharan African nations meet fast-growing energy needs without corresponding surge in greenhouse gas emissions. After all, Africa is rich in renewable resources. From sunlight to wind, the continent can begin to fully capitalize upon this bounty to power its future growth. With innovations in clean energy over the past decade, and with the cost of technology and good decreasing, modern, efficient, and utility-scale clean energy systems are well within sub-Saharan Africa's reach. Indeed, some challenges remain, among them securing competitive funding for large-scale energy projects and using sector expertise to facilitate market entry and support. However, the UAE has a proven track record in addressing many of these challenges. Last year, the UAE inaugurated the 50 megawatts Mohammed bin Zayed power plant in Togo, marketing the country's first utility-scale renewable energy project, developed by an independent power producer and one of the largest solar PV IPP plants in Western Africa. The project, which is helping accelerate the development of green economies that ensure a more sustainable future, also created many local employment opportunities, with 80% of plant workers hailing directly from Togo. Already, the UAE has a number of agreements in place with sub-Saharan African partners under Etihad 7 to join them in pursuing their clean energy and economic aims. Etihad 7 is a truly collaborative program, one that acknowledges and adapts to the needs and requirements of our partner nations. Two robust relationships between the UAE and sub-Saharan Africa is reflected in our partnership and development projects. Today, the UAE is deeply invested in the prosperity and well-being of the entire African continent. The UAE will leverage our existing relationships in sub-Saharan Africa, including diplomatic, humanitarian, and development cooperation, to share the UAE's renewable energy expertise, to advance economic and human development. Moreover, capitalizing upon our strategic location, infrastructure and logistics offering, and knowledge of the region, the UAE is determined to stimulate economic growth across sub-Saharan Africa. With the guidance and coordination from the UAE's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and the Office of the Special Envoy for Climate Change, the program will raise from the public and private sectors the funds needed for clean energy investment in sub-Saharan Africa. The UAE deeply appreciates the contributions of all African nations in this shared journey of development, and we in the UAE look forward with enthusiasm and optimism to a future in which our countries channel our cooperation into creating new avenues for our peoples to thrive. Through Etihad 7, I look forward to working with you all, as well as our international partners, in building a brighter, cleaner, and sustainable future for generations to come. I thank you.